All right, this is going to be a little bit long-winded, but it has to do with an article I read, and I went to Las Vegas recently, and when I was there, I was horrified to see that I had to pay for parking at the hotels. Mm-hmm. And they were just talking about an article on Yahoo today about how you have the fees are going up on the resort fees at the hotels as well. Yeah. And so that got me thinking about, I made a purchase way back when, after having a bad hotel experience where I bought into a timeshare. And all these fees are making me feel a little bit better about all those ridiculous annual dues that I pay for my timeshare. However, I'm locked into that timeshare for life, and then I have to pass that down to my child, who's going to carry that timeshare burden, and then his kids are going to have the timeshare burden forever too. Sometimes that weighs on my mind, and I think about it. I wake up and get sweats in the middle of the night about that timeshare purchase. So, Muhammad, is there any event or decision in your life that you wish you could go and press that delete or backspace key on?
Toastmaster? Wow. This can go on for a while. There's been some questionable decisions that I've made. But if there were some people I wish I didn't see in my past also. Mm-hmm. But as far as expunging any events in my life that I wish I could take back would be I would say
maybe like a recent purchase or something, or anything like that.
A cable package that I just kind of wish I stuck to Netflix and Hulu. DirecTV, man, they'll get you coming, they'll get you going. So Time Warner's not any better. So thank you guys.
All right. Sometimes you get riled up at work and you think about sending that email and you write it out, and sometimes it's usually better if you read it through and you say, maybe I shouldn't send that, right? Mm-hmm. Have you ever seen an instance, either of yourself or someone else, where you're like, I can't believe they sent that, and they didn't press the delete button on that email? Sharon, any experiences like that? Tabletop. Yes.
It's interesting that you should ask that question. Yesterday, someone called me and said that they had received an email from someone that should have been expunged before it was sent. One of the admins was upset that one of the directors was meddling in what she thought was her business regarding something one of the vice presidents wanted. The admin responded, "We don't need to be babysat. We've got this covered." So everyone stood back, and she copied even 2 vice presidents on the email, which was shocking and made us all gasp. And we wondered what was going on with her, because she's usually a very nice young lady. So after the email exchange back and forth, the director, who was the recipient of said email, decided to reach out to the admin to find out what was going on with her. And she found out after a few explanations that one of her family members is really sick. Mm-hmm. And she's grieving over the possible end of life situation that the family member is in. Mm-hmm. So she was overreacting to something that, if we hadn't dug a little bit deeper, we wouldn't have known what was going on with her, because she's a very private person as well. She realized afterwards She should have expunged that email and pressed the delete key rather than sending it.
Okay. I asked a person before I came down here, delete. What do you think about delete? What's the first thing that comes to mind? And it was one that I didn't think of, but it's a pretty good one. He said, Hillary emails? So, the question is, this is a tough one, Pat. Without offending anybody, tell us your thoughts about this whole election process. Without offending anybody. There you go.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
She starts this off by saying there's a side of me that wishes we could have just expunged the whole process. It was a lot of, it was kind of crazy, my impression of the whole process. Well, it's hard not to offend anyone. I think that, well, I had a candidate that didn't make the initial round, so when that happened, I was, I think, less involved with less. I didn't. I was still paying attention, but it was was extremely interesting, actually. I think the whole deal with it's actually what we're hearing about it now is kind of interesting. Is the mainstream media is talking about fake news, and so I think that, in my takeaway was that was a real interesting portion of the storyline, is that you had the claim by the Republicans that the mainstream media was biased, and I think that by some objective measures, I don't know if I've read studies where they indicate that mainly the media is composed of people that are Democrat leaning. So I think there may be some accuracy there, but I feel like Donald Trump was pretty adroit and pretty savvy about recognizing, in fact, I think he took advantage of I shouldn't say take advantage of the mainstream media, but he basically it's almost like he kind of knew the way they were going to frame a story, or maybe try to frame him, and I feel like he used that to his advantage. That being said, I think that it's been a very interesting, I just think it's been like, one word I would use is kind of circus atmosphere, because you had so much. I saw the debates, and it was very different than what I've seen in past episodes. So, Donald Trump was not afraid to attack, and in some ways I think that served him well, because past presidential candidates were very more the establishment, Republican, genteel side. So I think that he used that to his advantage, and I hope that we'll continue to see how it goes.
I think that was a very non-offensive comment. Very good. Last one, and we'll make this a fun one. Control-Alt-Delete, right? That's what I think of. That was my first thing, is Control-Alt-Delete. That's a way to reset your computer and refresh computer programs that are frozen or stuck. So in the mind of resetting, Aaron, what do you like to do to reset, regroup, or unwind?
Whenever I need to have a fresh restart, expunge the stress from my life, I go fishing. As many of you probably know, I am a very experienced angler. I actually found Nemo last year, and it made me feel really good. A lot of times, life can be stressful. Actually, I have a final this evening, and I have my last final on Saturday, and then I'll be Master Aaron Wright. After that, I'm going fishing for a very long time. I really enjoy it because it allows me to step away, and it's so serene, being on the ocean and just seeing that peace, seeing America over there, and I'm here. And for me, it accesses, I feel like intrinsically I am connecting with people who existed years ago, and we share a bond. I don't know, it works for me, and it makes me feel okay. Also for me, there is nothing like the pull of a fish. When you have like a nice yellowtail or something cranking, it just, you forget about everything, and you feel like a kid on its first roller coaster, and it's so exhilarating. I really love it. However, when the fish expunges itself from your line, that can be very stressful. However, it allows for you to go and do it again. I prefer ocean fishing because you know what you're fishing for. However, you don't exactly know what you're going to catch. That is a part of the lure of it as well. If any of you want to expunge stress from your life, come fishing with me. All right.
Thank you. Back to Madam Toastmaster.